Hello, this is BBC Newsline. I'm Richard Morgan. The headlines this Friday evening. This controversial bonfire in South Belfast is due to be lit later despite concerns about asbestos and a plea from the Environment Minister.
And there's many other ways to celebrate the 11th of July rather than visiting this site and for this to occur.
To me, if there was real concerns, the Environmental Agency or whoever would be coming out and saying this can't go ahead because this will happen.
After a 12-year-old boy is knocked down and killed in Portaferry earlier this week, a man appears in court charged with causing death by dangerous driving. Progress has been made in talks to avert disruption to rail travel next week, including at the Open in Portrush. The countdown to tomorrow's 12th celebrations get underway in the Shankill. And with temperatures set to soar to 30 degrees, the Coast Guard urges those cooling off at beaches and rivers to do so safely.
Rory McIlroy showing some fine form at the Scottish Open ahead of his return to Royal Portrush next week. We'll have the best of his round today and bring you the rest of the weekend sport.
And it's been another hot day with plenty of sunshine, but how's it looking for the bank holiday weekend? I'll be back with your full forecast at the end of the programme.
It's Friday, the 11th of July. Welcome to the programme. Dozens of bonfires will be lit tonight all over Northern Ireland, most without incident. But it's this bonfire that's been centre stage all week. It's in the village area of South Belfast, and there have been concerns about asbestos on the site and the bonfire's proximity to an electricity substation which provides power to two major hospitals. The police say they will not assist in its removal. Now, the Environment Minister, Andrew Muir, is urging people not to attend the bonfire and called on builders not to light it. Our political correspondent, Jane McCormack, has the story.
Ready to be lit after days of political heat over whether it should or shouldn't go ahead. But concerns still about health and safety. Last night, the Environment Agency said 5 more sites of suspected asbestos had been found, with around 20 kilograms of it being removed.
We understand that inspection took place on Wednesday before the PSNI and other agencies completed their risk assessment. Some say this latest revelation raises even more questions.
I think NIEA are the people most at fault here. We've heard very little from them apart from the last minute statement last night, and we have heard absolutely nothing from the Environment Minister in relation to this. And I just think that is such an abject failure of leadership.
Hours later, the Minister in question, Andrew Muir, made an appearance and an appeal.
There's many other ways to celebrate the 11th of July rather than visiting this site and for this to occur.
But to be clear, are you telling people not to go to the bonfire tonight?
I would not be going to the bonfire myself, and I would say to others that that's something I would urge them to consider likewise.
And what would you say to your critics now who are pointing the finger of blame firmly at the NIEA, saying this is all your own department's failure?
We're very good at finger pointing in Northern Ireland, aren't we? What about coming together and trying to resolve issues? This is why this has depressed me so much over recent days. That collective leadership that's required around this issue, and that hasn't occurred. And, I've outlined to you the complexity associated with asbestos removal.
Unsurprisingly, that hasn't gone down well among those with the ear of the Donegal Road community.
I don't think it's helpful. I think, considering the Alliance Party were one of the parties that voted to remove the bonfire, I don't think that the bonfire builders are in any mood to be listening to the Minister. I think the Minister should have come out long ago.
I believe the bonfire should go ahead tonight. People should go and enjoy themselves. If there is a major issue, then environmental agencies should say that. But saying it on the 11th day, when they've been on site from January, the boys have been on site building the bonfire from January, it shows that they didn't care before now. So to me, it's clearly a political decision.
But others say on this one, the buck should stop with political unionism.
What more do people need? What more does Emma Little Pengelly need to come out and say, listen, let's dial this down here. Let's not light this bonfire. Let's look for some way to settle this issue. Where has she been? She's been hiding all week.
Removing the remaining asbestos is due to start next week, long after Bonfire Night is over and this site is vacant again. If recent events show anything, it's that political inability to address bonfires remains as big a tinderbox as ever. Jane McCormack, BBC Newsline, South Belfast.
Well, police have said they are investigating the material on top of a bonfire in County Tyrone as a hate incident. The bonfire in Moygashill had an effigy of a small boat with several figures inside and was lit last night. In the past number of days, political parties and elected representatives have criticised the placing of that effigy. You can find out more on this story right now on our website. You can also get details of all the major parades that are due to take place tomorrow. Now, a 51-year-old man who's admitted knocking down and killing a 12-year-old boy has apologised to the boy's family in court. Peter Andrew Milligan from Ashmount Park in Portaferry appeared in court charged with causing death by dangerous driving and driving under the influence of drink or drugs. Lucas Traynor was knocked down and killed in the county downtown on Tuesday night. Kelly Bonner was in court.
Flowers left for Lucas Traynor at the scene of where he was killed on Tuesday evening. The 12-year-old was riding his scooter and playing when he was hit by a car. The driver fled the scene. Today, Newtownards Magistrates Court heard that 51-year-old Peter Milligan made a full admission to police during police interviews. His solicitor told the court he admitted to hitting Lucas Traynor with his car. The court heard that Milligan had been drinking in a bar in Strangford before the hit and run. He was then driven home by a friend, but decided to take his car out and drive through Portaferry. The police told the court that he was driving at high speed through Portaferry when he hit the 12-year-old and then made off. Police told the court that Milligan was actively trying to evade police and had refused to be breathalyzed when he was arrested. A blood test carried out at hospital showed that he had been drinking. The family of Lucas Traynor was in court today watching proceedings. And before the court got underway, a solicitor representing Milligan told the court that he would like to express his profound remorse to the family of Lucas for the loss of their precious child. A detective constable told the court there was significant anger in Portaferry at the young child's death. Milligan was refused bail due to risk of reoffending and will appear in court again on July the 30th. Kelly Bonner, BBC Newsline, Newtownards.
A number of homes have been evacuated in the Collinvale area of Poleglass near Belfast because of a security alert. It follows the discovery of a suspicious device early this morning. Pembroke Loop was closed at both ends. Some residents spent the afternoon in their cars as they waited to get back into their homes.
Unfortunately, this morning we were alerted to a suspect device found at the back of one of the houses in Collinvale, one of our housing estates. As a result, then the police have evacuated 2 other estates, including the one where the device was found, which has meant a lot of disruption for residents. Probably upwards of 250 houses have been evacuated to this point.
Now, tens of thousands of people will attend 12th parades across Northern Ireland tomorrow. But on Belfast's Shankill Road, the festivities have already started. Our arts and education correspondent, Robbie Meredith, has been there today.
The sound of the sunny Shankill today, as people from the area prepare for the 12th. But the getting ready has gone on for weeks.
I run a women's programme in the Acton Initiative, and we have been meeting for 6 to 8 weeks. We make a lot of the costumes for all the festivals that would go on the Shankill. Very community based, and there's the whole community turns out very well celebrated. It's a very important day for us.
Visitors to the area's Orange Hall were taking the chance to get some shade and refreshment.
There's always just on the 11th night, 11th day. You get all the visitors coming over for the 12th, so they come along on the Shankill and they soak up the atmosphere.
And that included historic tours of the hall.
We have people from across the United Kingdom who are here to take part in tomorrow's procession, but we've also got people right across the world. Indeed, I was speaking to someone only moments ago who's travelled all the way from California to witness tomorrow's 12th.
Back with the band For some locals, the 12th has been a family affair for generations.
For us, it's important for people to see events like this to showcase that we are so much more than the negative stereotypes and the demonisation that some people try to put upon our community.
On the Shankill and elsewhere, it's set to be a long, very busy and very hot few days. Robbie Meredith, BBC Newsline.
Still to come on the programme, one of the most eagerly awaited All-Ireland semis will take place at Croke Park tomorrow when Tyrone take on their old foes Kerry. Now, there was a big splash in the Foyle this morning when a canoe that was made in just 9 days was paddled up the river. It was carved out from a tree that had fallen during the bad storms earlier this year. It's all part of a unique project aimed at celebrating friendship between different cultures here in Northern Ireland and remote islands off the coast of Australia. But there was a serious message too about the effects of climate change. Here's our Northwest reporter, Kieran Turish.
It began a few short weeks ago on the Brook Hall estate on the edge of the city. A tree that had fallen during a storm was turned into a canoe in just 9 days, carved out by a group of Micronesian visitors. They're from remote islands off the coast of Australia.
The climate is changing. We don't know how quickly it's going to change. We don't know what it's going to change to, but we need to be able to adapt and change with it. And part of that is being able to learn from others, from other parts of the world.
In glorious weather, the canoe made its way up the Foyle. The cultural project was the result of friendships forged between islanders in the Western Pacific Ocean and here in Northern Ireland.
I think the point of this project is about hope, friendship, and belief in our capacity as human beings to live in concert with nature and with each other. The building of the canoe is like teaching us how to live sustainably again.
Micronesia is composed of a large number of islands, and there are real fears about the effects of global warming there.
One of the things that was very clear to me from being in the islands, in the Micronesian islands, is how much at risk they are from climate change, from sea level rise. Most of them are not even a metre above sea level, and several of them will disappear.
How do you feel now on completing this journey?
Feeling happy.
The organisers of this project are now making a documentary outlining the unique friendships which exist between Northern Ireland and those who live on the remote islands of the coast of Australia. Not only that, they hope it'll raise awareness of the potentially devastating impact of climate change for everyone. Kieran Turish, BBC Newsline, Derry.
An industrial dispute at Translink has led to fears of disruption to the rail network next week, including during the Open Golf Championship in Portrush. Strike action by some workers is planned on Friday and Saturday, but as our correspondent Mark Simpson now reports, talks this afternoon made significant progress.
Translink are ready for golf fans here at Grand Central Station. But away from the public activities, there's a private dispute between the company and one of the trade unions. Industrial action is planned on 2 days next week, which could disrupt public transport, including services going to the Open at Portrush.
I don't think people realise how difficult it is to get these groups, clerical and management, to take part in strike, to vote for strike action in the numbers that they did. The returns were 70–80% in favour of strike. That is very, very unusual. So the strength of feeling is really strong.
Golf fans may have strong feelings too if the trains they book to Portrush next Friday and Saturday don't run. Within the trade union, 3 groups are involved in the dispute, and late this afternoon Translink announced a breakthrough. They said, "We have reached an agreement with one of the groups involved. We remain committed to achieving a positive resolution to this dispute. We are fully committed to operating all bus and rail services next Friday and Saturday." All this comes as the best golfers in the world prepare to arrive in Northern Ireland again, bringing with them a big boost to the local economy.
The last time they reckoned there was £100 million of economic benefit. This time it's likely to double to over 213 million as a projected figure. For all aspects of the economy, tourism, retail, hospitality, there's something in it for everyone.
The stage is set at Portrush, and what a stage it is. The golf course is ready, the stands are waiting. They just need to ensure that everyone gets there. Mark Simpson, BBC Newsline.
Now it's hot, and we're being told to expect temperatures of 28 degrees, if not higher, possibly hitting 30 in the coming days. With that, an amber wildfire warning has been issued for Northern Ireland. Foil Search and Rescue and the Belfast Coast Guard have also urged those cooling off at beaches and rivers to do so safely. Bernie Allen has been finding out how people have been coping with the heat.
Northern Ireland woke up to these scenes today.
Temperatures hit around 25 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday, and it's set to get even hotter this weekend. And there were lots of people out enjoying the sunshine here in Hollywood and across Northern Ireland today.
We just decided early doors this morning to pack the car up and come out with that beautiful sunshine.
It's beautiful. It's really good to have the beach on our doorstep, so it is, and we can just walk down along the seafront there. So yeah, it's lovely.
Whilst many welcome the sunshine, a heatwave can be especially difficult for people with existing health conditions.
Some people with heart failure are on a fluid restriction, so I am myself. On days where it's hot, I would need to try and increase my fluids a bit, but it's a very fine line to how much I can increase it by.
And it can also put a strain on our resources. NI Water says there are no plans for a hosepipe ban yet, but there is a plea for people to be careful with the water they use this weekend.
There's probably work that you maybe want to do, like power wash and power hosing. Maybe I could have asked you just to put that off to Monday or Tuesday when the weather's going to change.
With tens of thousands of people set to enjoy the warm weather over the holiday weekend, experts are reminding people to stay safe and apply the sunscreen. Bernie Allen, BBC Newsline.
Well, now a great cricket story. The Ireland bowler Curtis Camphor made a little bit of history last night. Playing in an inter-pro match for Munster Reds, he became the first man ever to take 5 wickets in 5 balls in a professional cricket match. Thomas Kane reports.
The difference between yesterday and today. And
in the Dublin sun, Curtis Camphor was in the mood.
And that's on the pads. That could be
and his day kept getting better and better.
McCalmont returns.
The Ireland international in simply unstoppable form.
Here we go. Hat-trick ball, catch in the deep, taken.
He was already one of the few cricketers on the planet to have taken 4 wickets from 4 balls.
Yes, he's done it. He's done it.
Robbie Miller nicks off first ball.
And when he equalled that feat, he had the opportunity to make history.
Will he do it now?
Yes, definitely to the left-hander.
And he's done it.
5 from 5. What a performance.
I think a bit of disbelief, to be honest. I started laughing because it just felt like, it's one of those things that you don't really think is going to happen or can happen. Bit of disbelief, but yeah, really, really cool.
A record-breaking spell that will take some beating. Thomas Kane, BBC Newsline.
Yes, great achievement. Now, there's just 1 week to go until the British and Irish Lions' first test match against Australia. Before that huge game, the touring side have one last match tomorrow. After 4 wins out of 4 so far down under, the Lions are captained by Ireland's Tag Byrne against an Australia-New Zealand invitational team. Nigel Ringland reports from Adelaide.
The view from the boundary at the Adelaide Oval, a venue as synonymous with cricket as with rugby, where the Lions face an invitational Australia-New Zealand side, an unpredictable opponent, likely to play in a cavalier style.
I guess it's important you don't fall into a trap of trying to play a certain style. I think we've shown already that when we've got ball in hand and we can create quick ball, then we can play a really expansive attacking game. But it's important that we earn the right to do that and we do the right things at the right time, and that's never been any different throughout this tour.
It's almost 100 years since Adelaide's most famous son, Sir Don Bradman, made his debut for Australia and changed the sport of cricket forever. Incredibly, it's over 140 years since the British and Irish Lions last played a game here, back on their tour of 1888. And for some of the players playing here this weekend, it's the last chance to impress the coaching team ahead of that first test selection next week.
The way the lads went on Wednesday, and this being the last game before the test, it's an opportunity for us to put in a performance as a squad, and obviously individually then it's our last opportunity before the first test to put our hand up and make Andy's decision much more difficult come team selection next week.
And the Lions will be looking to remain unbeaten down under before the test series against Australia begins. Nigel Ringland, BBC Newsline, Adelaide.
And the Ireland rugby team, led by interim head coach Paul O'Connell, in Andy Farrell's absence, face Portugal tomorrow in their second summer international. You can follow all of that on the BBC Sport website. Now, in Gaelic games, we've reached the semi-final stage of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. The Ulster champions Donegal face Meath on Sunday, while tomorrow sees an intriguing match-up between Tyrone and Kerry. Mark Sidebottom reports.
Derek Canavan, inside his brother, has his hand in the air, but Canavan went for the insurance score. And it's surely now going to be Tyrone advancing to their first All-Ireland semi-final in 4 years.
Tyrone's last visit to Croke Park in the quarter-finals saw them battle past Dublin, a performance that will have given them confidence.
Confidence and relief as well that you won, because there's plenty of games, I suppose, where you don't play well and you don't get the result normally. So we've had lots to work on, we've had a bit of time to work on those things, so you just hope that Saturday that you sort of rectify maybe a few things that weren't going well.
But Kerry are the final hurdle between Tyrone and another final appearance. And facing the Kingdom also means trying to contain 3 times Footballer of the Year, David Clifford.
Does what David Clifford does.
David, you can put all the plans you want in place to try and nullify him or quiet David as much as you can, but a player like that's always going to have an impact. I suppose, just to say, it's trying to limit that impact.
Jim McGuinness and Donegal have already played 9 matches in the championship to get this far. And next it's a dangerous and improving Meath side in Sunday's semi.
You can see Donegal, packing the arc area, trying to slow down Meath attacks, and when they break, the pace and ferocity Donegal break it. There's the serious experience in there, but as I say, Galway had serious experience and Meath were able to counteract that, so I think that's why, as a Meath fan, you would get in here with hope.
Both the weekend semi-finals are live on BBC Two and the iPlayer. If you're travelling to Croke Park, bring sun cream. The temperature's expected to soar into the high 20s. Mark Sidebottom, BBC Newsline.
Well, there's a big sporting fixture tonight because Irish world champion boxer Katie Taylor takes on Amanda Serrano at Madison Square Garden in New York. It will be the 3rd time the pair have met, Taylor narrowly winning both previous bouts. And all of her world title belts are on the line.
I just took the turf fight obviously because I love these kind of challenges, and I do believe I can beat her again. In terms of the importance of this fight, I feel like even after the first fight, I didn't think I was going to get any bigger than that, but here we are. This fight is even bigger than the last 2. This is an absolute privilege to be in this position, and I just thank God that I'm here and I'm making history again.
And finally, it finished 0-0 in last night's first leg of the UEFA Conference League tie between Larne and FK Auda of Latvia. So the tie's in the balance heading into next Wednesday's second leg. That is the sport. Can't wait to get to Portrush, Richard, for the Open next week.
Sure,
just need some good but windy weather.
Well, let's see if we can provide that. Thanks very much. Lovely day, blue skies everywhere. This is Port Ballantrae and people soaking up the sun. I'm sure there's going to be lots of that, Ali, because it's set to last.
It is, and it was certainly a good day for the beach. Temperatures reaching 29 degrees this afternoon, so a very warm day. Lots of beautiful photos coming into our weather watchers, plenty of lovely big blue skies and sunshine, but the sunshine isn't for everyone. These cows in County Antrim were getting some welcome shade underneath the trees. But it is all set to change next week. That area of high pressure currently over the UK and Ireland will move through, making way for an area of low pressure, which will bring more unsettled conditions. But back to tonight, we've plenty of late sunshine this evening, and it will be staying dry and settled overnight under clear skies, with overnight lows only dipping to around 13 to 15 degrees. So it's going to be a very warm night. But for the 12th tomorrow, there'll be plenty of blue skies, plenty of sunshine, and it'll be very hot as well. This is our record for the hottest day of the year. It was on 20th of June 2025, our last heat wave. We reached 29 29.5, and that was in Castledurg, County Tyrone. So after we reach 29 today, we could easily beat that tomorrow. So with all that strong sunshine, UV levels will be high, so do keep the sun cream handy if you're out and about tomorrow. Be dry throughout most of the day with temperatures widely in the mid to high 20s. So it will be a good day for the first day of the bank holiday weekend. Having a look at Sunday right across Ireland, plenty of sunshine to start off with, another dry day. Slightly cooler though, with temperatures sitting around 25 to 26 degrees. However, those showers that will be making their way in through the Republic of Ireland during the day may make their way northwards through the evening time, and they could be quite thundery as well. So for the Open next week, it is unfortunately looking quite unsettled. Some thunder in the forecast for Monday, so enjoy the good weather this weekend. Richard, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Ali. That's it for now. Our late news is at 10:30. Until then, you can keep up to date with the BBC News website. Bye-bye.